Thank you for joining Money Simplified, your guide to money and mutual funds, presented by Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund. We appreciate your participation. At PersonalFN, we are committed to help investors achieve their financial goals and objectives. Our core proposition is built around unbiased research and financial planning. We wish to thank Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund for partnering with us in this investor education and awareness initiative. Welcome to session 23 of Money Simplified, your guide to money and mutual funds. We are glad to have you with us for our 23rd session on how to select your advisor. So let us begin with our learning session today. So far in our learning session of Money Simplified, we've learned about how to put your savings to productive use through investments. We introduced you to various asset classes, equity, debt, gold, and also told you how to go about allocating assets depending upon your risk profile, investment horizon, and financial goals. We also explained how mutual funds work, the way of investing in them, and selecting winning mutual funds the prudent way. In our learning session today, we'll tell you about the care you should take while selecting an investment or a mutual fund advisor. You might have come across several investment advisors or mutual fund distributors who operate actually as agents. It is noteworthy that the Association of Mutual Funds in India has made the Know Your Distributor certificate mandatory for mutual fund advisors, which enables you to check the credential of the mutual fund advisor whom you are dealing with. Here are some valuable aspects which you should look into to select an independent and an unbiased investment or a mutual fund advisor. Aspects to evaluate while selecting an advisor. First, seek references. It becomes imperative to judge and possibly check his client testimonials through some references. Then you should also check the advisor's qualifications. You see, SEBI makes it mandatory for individuals engaging in mutual fund advisory services to have an advisor certificate issued by the National Institute of Securities Management, or NISM. Likewise, in case of insurance agents, it is mandatory for them to have passed the IRD examination and completed the requisite number of hours of training. Apart from these certifications, it would be an added advantage if the advisor holds a postgraduate or a professional degree in finance or investments, which may facilitate you to get better qualified advice. But that's not enough. It's vital to look into the philosophy by which he or she operates. You should also assess the infrastructure and value-added services. Judge whether he has the right infrastructure set up in order to provide a proficient and prudent advice and service on a continuous basis. Remember, after having done your investments, they need monitoring and tracking on a regular basis. Therefore, as a value addition, your investment or mutual fund advisor should ideally provide you with various tools and calculators for online tracking of your investments. Moreover, he or she should persistently advise you on your portfolio in accordance to the change in market conditions and financial goals. Then the next is after-sales support. After-sales support should not be ignored, as there could be several reasons for which you may need to seek support, such as changing the bank mandate for your investments, obtaining account statements, submitting redemption requests, switch requests, a timely review of portfolio, and the action to be taken thereon, etc. So there should be a proper accountability. Likewise, in case of insurance, you need to also have the after-sales support at the time of the premium payment and claim. So an advisor who is easily accessible would generally make sense. And finally, you also need to check the track record of the advice. If an advisor can provide you this, you can judge his credibility. The data, if provided by the investment advisor, can be cross-verified with some clients as a reference check. This exercise may help you not only understand the advisor's performance track record, but also recognize whether he provides prompt and reliable after-sales service or he is merely a bluff master. As an investor, you should not be swayed by tall claims regarding the performance of some of the schemes. This leads to many investors getting swayed in the pursuit of getting wealthier. But what they fail to recognize is what's the outlook for the future, and most importantly, whether investment product is meant for them. So here's why you should adopt caution while selecting your advisor. Agents, distributors, relationship managers are responsible for offering you appropriate advice, taking into account your investment objective and risk profile. So it is important that you are led by the advice that keeps you as the focal point rather than a product. So question the suitability relative to your needs rather than the past performance. Question the suitability more so when it is a new fund launch, whether it is really required and whether an existing investment option with a good track record can provide the same. Now before we end our learning session today, here are some points you need to remember. Points to remember. Choose your investment advisor after proper due diligence. Do not get swayed by tall claims made by an investment advisor about himself or about any product. Verify and know the facts. AMFI has made the Know Your Distributor certificate mandatory for mutual fund advisors, which can enable you to check the credentials of the mutual fund advisor. But evaluate the attitude and rationalization of the advisor. Then also check your advisor's qualifications. You should also assess the infrastructure and value-added services provided by your advisor. Evaluate whether he can provide you with sufficient after-sales support, and ask for a track record of his advice. Ask your investment advisors questions that are relevant in context to your risk appetite, investment objectives, and time horizon. And last but not the least, do your own due diligence. Do not simply be led by brands or influential individuals for investment advice. So to end our learning exercise today, we now invite you to test your learning by taking up the simple quiz and win exciting prizes. Thank you for participating. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.